Welcome to Dad Life, a Dog's Breakfast. I'm your host, and this is episode 3, and the journey continues. So for those who are new or returning, whichever, it's just me chronicling the journey of becoming a dad, the ups and downs, things that work, things that don't work, and all things going well. Someone apart from myself will get a little bit out of this. So for today's episode, I'm actually using a little PowerPoint presentation to try and keep me on track a little bit better. Because if you've listened to the last 2 episodes, I tend to waffle a little bit and go in circles. So I've got a little PowerPoint presentation, and some of the things we're going to go through today. The first thing is sort of feeling the feelings. I've called it that for lack of a better term. Next thing will be the 12-week scan and the tips and tricks. So for my journey, currently my partner is sitting at 13 weeks pregnant. So I still got a little bit of time to go within the pregnancy. And within the last week, we had the 12-week scan, which was incredible. And I'll get to that in a little bit. But I thought before I do that, there's a few things that I should talk about and go over. And if you listen to the last couple episodes, they're probably things you've heard already. But I thought it was important to go over them again. And guess what? If you're back for the next episode, I'm probably going to touch on some of these as well. I've named it Feeling the Feelings just for a lack of a better term. But one of the things I want to talk about is sort of relationships. So relationship with your partner and those around you as well as you're going through this journey. So for me personally, one of the big things that's had a major impact on my experience so far as a sort of a pending dad is the relationship I had with my dad, which long and short, it's the reason why I think I thought our baby was going to be a girl. It's a boy, which I'm stoked about. But I think subconsciously I had just a few issues with my ability to be a boy dad because of the relationship that I have with my own dad, which isn't so crash hot. So it's one of those things, the relationships, both good and bad, can have massive impacts on not just you as a person, but you as a dad as well. On the flip side of that, the relationship I have with my mum is the complete opposite. My mum's an absolute superstar, and that's had an incredibly positive impact on sort of my want and desire to be a parent, but also this experience so far. My mum's been incredibly supportive, and that's helped me a lot. And I've been very open with my mum, and that's one thing I'd sort of suggest to you for any pending dad is that, you know, whichever parent you have a really good relationship with, hopefully it's both, but whichever one you do, reach out to them, chat to them, get some advice and learn from their experiences, because lo and behold, they know more than what we do. And if you're a first time dad, then you'll know that you know nothing. I'm 13 weeks into it, and I have fully accepted that I know so little about this process and what the coming months and years are going to hold, that I'm just taking advice from everybody, which, completely off topic. Here we go. Completely off topic. There can be too much advice as well. I guess there's some things that are awesome, some things that aren't. Listen to everybody and just use what works best for you. So if you have a sort of style of parenting you want to take on, listening to different people can impact and influence that in both a positive and negative way. But just take the advice that you think is going to work for you, push the rest aside, and you're going to find out really quickly, as I will, once little fella pops out, that 90% of what we're going to be doing, we're just going to be learning on the spot. We're just going to be reacting to a situation and just trying to do our best. And as dads, if that's what we do, just try and do our best and be there, then we're sort of cracking on. Anyway, I went off topic there. Apologies. So relationships can be such an awesome thing, and sometimes not such an awesome thing on our journey to becoming a dad and being a dad. But reach out to those that have had a really good positive impact on you growing up and up to this point, And if their parents, get some advice off them, because clearly they've done something well if they've had a positive impact on your life. And all the advice that we can get as dads will only make us better. Next thing I want to talk about, and hopefully I don't go off topic again, is being scared and being nervous and being excited. And that's sort of why I called it feeling the feelings, because how do I word this properly? Well, I'm scared, nervous, and excited. Sort of things not to put on your Hinge dating profile. However, here we are talking about it on a podcast about being a dad. I think that one of the things that scares me most is the potential negative impact I could have on my son's life. So I'm very worried about trying to be a good parent, and starting now to do things so that I'm not a bad parent. Setting really good habits, really good communication with my partner about different things, and that's not really. There's nothing I don't think that'll alleviate this sort of feeling of being scared. But if I feel like I'm more prepared, then when the time comes, I'll just be better off for it, if that makes sense. If I prepare properly now and put in those good habits and communication skills, then maybe I shouldn't be as scared as what I am. But I still am. And nervous. But the nervous and the excited are sort of the same thing. And I think I'm nervous because I have no idea what I'm getting into, but I'm also excited because I have no idea what I'm getting into. And I think that's a healthy thing to have. If you didn't have those feelings, you might want to go talk to someone, a professional. That would be someone I would recommend to talk to. And then the last point I got here is talking about it all. And as I mentioned about like relationships, and also in the being scared part, was the communication I have with my partner and those around me that have had a positive influence on my life. I talk to those people, and I openly admit that I'm scared, I'm nervous, I'm excited. And a lot of the fellas that I've spoken to, some of them have 1, 2, 3 kids. They felt the same way, and that's quite comforting to know that if they felt the same way, but they could still get through it and be good parents and be good people, then maybe I can as well. Obviously, there's a lot of water to go under that bridge, so it's not as easy as just saying, well, they said they can do it, therefore I can do it, which is true, but also need to put in the hard yards. The reason why they were able to succeed is because they were doing the good things. They put in the time with their partner, the communication with their partner, the time with the little tacker when it popped out, changing nappies, getting up during the night to help with feeding, all that kind of stuff, and just being a supportive partner, a supportive parent. So that's the hard yards. We can say that we're going to be good because other people have been through this experience and come out the other side, but also they were able to do that because they worked hard. So talking about it helps a lot and gives me a sense of comfort that maybe I can succeed at being a good parent, but also have to go through the trials and tribulations of being shit scared about the whole thing. So there's that as well. Next thing we're going to look at is the 12-week scan, which we had last week, about 6 days ago now. And that was incredible. In the last episode, I spoke about questions to ask. I went in with about 6 or 8 questions that I wanted to ask about, healthy development of our son and this and that. And the only question I could get out was, is everything okay? And the radiologist that was doing the scan was kind enough and qualified enough to talk us through everything and alleviate any of our fears that we may have had, that we did have, not may, we did have. And I certainly had. And that was awesome. So if there's one thing I can recommend before I even get to the tips and tricks part, is go get your scans done at a specialist radiologist or centre that specialises in ultrasounds and scans for women, because it makes it so much better, because they're doing these sorts of things every day and multiple times a day. They understand what should and shouldn't be there and can talk you through the different issues or just your baby's anatomy. We got to see liver, kidneys, stomach, the heart. They gave us a sort of a 3D rendering of the blood going through the heart to see that all the arteries and aortas were in the right places. Got to see the brain, which was incredible. The top jaw, which allowed us to identify that our son doesn't have a cleft palate or anything like that. Feet, toes, hands, fingers, arms, legs, the spine, everything. So going to a place that can actually talk you through that is huge and makes you feel better, made me feel better, but also makes your partner feel better. And that's sort of half the battle for us as soon-to-be dads, is making sure our partner feels good about things and supported, which brings me to my next point, which is being there and supporting your partner, which is just a huge thing. I left work early so I could go to this scan. And if I had to go do that every day so I could be at every scan, then so be it. That's what I'll do. You make up that time at other places, at other times of the day or the week or whenever, but you need to be there for those scans. And it was epic to watch my son when the scan started. It looked like the radiologist was sort of moving the ultrasound handle. Is that what it's called? An ultrasound handle? Anyway, the thing she was doing the ultrasound thingy with looked like she was jumping that around. But in fact, it was my little fella jumping in the womb, which was epic to watch. And he was just kicking around, living his best life, rolling around, having a great time, which was just epic. And I can't recommend any more than just saying be there and experience those awesome emotions. And that's takes us back to that first point of feeling your feelings. Be there so you can be there to feel those feelings and the joy that seeing that actually brings to your life. It's wicked. And support for your partner. That's not just being there at those scans, but if you can get out more questions than what I did, then ask those questions. We were blessed in having that radiologist there who explained everything. And as she was going through, was just saying, "No, I'm not concerned about anything." The report she wrote would then go to the doctor that we're seeing, the GP, and they give the all clear. But that sort of stuff's really handy. But not just that, support your partner through all those normal things that you would do, the cooking, the cleaning, and being there for the different scans and whatnot. And just no matter how scared you are, be excited as well. And let yourself be excited because what we're going through is awesome. And despite how scary it is as equally as exciting. And if you're not there and you're not supporting your partner, then you won't be able to experience just how awesome it is. But also on that, you need to support yourself. And I've spoken about this in the last couple of episodes. If you have a gym routine, try and maintain that as best you can. If you read, continue reading, do whatever you do, go for long walks, whatever. And if you need to talk to someone about this epic change that's going to happen in your life, go seek a professional and talk to them. And it could be a male, it could be a female, it could be someone who isn't a parent, could be someone who is. But go talk to a professional because that's what they're trained to do, to help people get coping mechanisms if they don't have them, or enhance those that they already have to be a better version of themselves. And as dads in this, brave new world, we need to be the best versions of ourselves so we can be the best parent and partner we can be and the best role model that we can be so that the next generation's better. The next generation's a bit more tolerant and, potentially get less dickheads in this world, which would be amazing. Because it is amazing. The whole thing is amazing. The 12-week scan was amazing. The feelings that sort of washed over me were amazing. I held it together really well. In the first scan, at the 6-week scan, I held it together and then turned into a blubbering mess. Once we got back to the car, it didn't really hit me till probably about 10 minutes later when we went to go get pizza afterwards, and we'll drive into the pizza shop, and it sort of hit me that I'm going to have a son. and I need to work my ass off to be a better dad than what I had, so that my son can grow up knowing that he is loved and cared for all the time. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. So 2 from 2, I've turned into a blubbering mess. So the next scan, you know, I know that Meatloaf said 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but I'm going to go for 3 out of 3. See how we go. But yeah, no promises there. I'm sure I'll keep you updated. And then finally, tips and tricks. I've gone over a few things. Looking after yourself, look after your partner, and enjoy the sleep. And encourage your partner to sleep too. So that's one of the big things that we experienced. And I say we, like I was the one that had nausea and the tiredness and morning sickness, but it was my partner. But it was something that we experienced coming out of the first trimester. I mentioned this last episode, but as soon as we started this second trimester, it sort of everything ramped up to a Spinal Tap 11 out of 10. So just keep that in mind. That if your partner needs to sleep, it's because the things that their body is going through is tremendous and incredible and mind blowing. The more you think about it, the more mind blowing it gets, because they're creating a human, and it's wild. Anyway, ours is the size of a lime right now, and it's crazy to think that everything he needs is already there, and he's just going to get bigger from there. It's anyway. I'm starting to waffle again, but yeah, enjoy your sleep and let your partner and encourage your partner to enjoy their sleep as well. That's a massive thing, and just continue to look after yourselves and your partner and be the best version of who you are, so that when the time comes, you can be the best parent, the best dad that you could possibly be, which would be awesome. So hopefully this one's been a little bit less all over the shop and a little bit more structured. And we'll see how we go for the next one. But yeah, keep enjoying yourself and let yourself feel those feelings, those emotions, and don't sort of shut yourself off because you think you have to be a big tough guy. We are all big tough guys, and that's just the way it is. But doesn't mean we can't have emotions. We can't show people that we have emotions, which is a really important thing to do that. And communicate with your partner, with those around you, those closest. Let them know how you're feeling, because as soon as you start telling people how you're feeling, chances are someone you know has had the same feeling and been through the same thing, and they can support you really well. I've got some really awesome people that can help me, close friends that are dads or about to be dads. My brothers who are both dads, my sister who's a mum, and my mum as well. And for me, having that support network is huge. I've got people reaching out, letting me know if I need anything. Just ask, both advice and baby clothes and all that kind of stuff. And I would encourage anyone that's listening to this to take people up on that. If they're reaching out and saying, hey, if you've got any questions, just ask, then ask. And the question might be, I don't know what to do here, or I'm lost and I feel like I should be doing something. And then chances are they'll be like, oh, I felt the same way and this is what I did. And then you can start from there and try something. And if it works for you, awesome, crack on. If it doesn't, then try something different and you'll figure out what works best for you, and you will do really well. I'm sure of it. Anyway, that's me done. I'm waffling. Take care of yourself, and I will see you next episode.